Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor to be here. It's a tough act to follow, following the congressman's comments, but I I agree to a lot of his sentiments, and mainly that we Indians would like our land back too. Actually, I think tribes would argue that they'd like more control over their lands and their economic destiny. I want to talk to you a little bit about tribal energy potential, as well as a little bit about our company, Ute Energy. I'm proud to represent. The book didn't talk a lot about. It talked a lot about my previous work. I started off in education, but over the last 6 years, I've been working on this startup, helping to grow this investment, and I currently serve as Vice President of Government Corporate Development for Ute Energy. I also want to talk to you about some of the regulatory hurdles that obstacles that we're facing in the industry. But to start off, several years ago, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, testifying before the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs, reported that Indian tribes throughout this country own a substantial amount of untapped energy resources. Energy production from tribal lands equals 10% of the total federal onshore production of energy and minerals. Indian-owned energy resources are still largely undeveloped. 1.81 million acres are being explored or in production, but about 15 million more acres of energy resources are undeveloped. Indian tribes have tremendous resources. The development of these resources brings substantial investment to the local area, provide core government services to tribes, and provide a tremendous amount of jobs fueling our local economy and providing revenue to local government. This is important, particularly when we as a nation are facing serious economic and energy security challenges. Here in Utah, the Ute Indian tribe of the Uintah Reservation reside, federally recognized Indian tribe, organized under the Reorganization Act of 1934. The tribe has a little over 3,000 tribal members, a majority living here in the area. Pursuant to the tribe's constitution, they're governed by a 6-member business committee, elected business committee. The original boundaries of the reservation are about 4.5 million acres, with 1.2 million acres of surface and 1 million acres of minerals and trust. The tribe continues to assert civil and regulatory authorities within the original boundaries of the reservation. A little overview about Ute Energy. Ute Energy was formed in 2005 by the Ute Indian tribe to develop commercial opportunities to develop tribal and non-tribal resources in the Uintah Basin. Ute Energy is establishing a leading operated position. Operated drilling in Randelette began April 30th of this year, and we have drilled 22 wells and plan to drill 54 wells here in 2011. 13 wells are on production now, and current operated production is about 1,478 barrels of oil equivalent per day. Ute Energy is currently in the process of signing up some rig contracts to finish out our drilling program this year. In the past, we partnered with leading operators like Bilbera Corporation and Berry Petroleum and Newfield. And as a result, Ute Energy's combined production is a little over 4,300 net BOE per day, again 30% operated by Ute Energy. We have 162,000 net acres, 88% undeveloped, with complementary midstream assets. Under the leadership of Joe Jaggers, our President and CEO, Ute Energy is poised for tremendous growth, and we are proud to be an important part of this local economy. Here's just a quick snapshot of Ute Energy projects in the Uintah Basin. Presently, we're experiencing favorable conditions, namely oil prices driving Ute Energy's development. 10 upstream exploration development agreements, 2 are operated by Ute Energy. We have decent takeaway capacity here in Utah and interest in 4 midstream assets, including key gas processing, namely ownership in the Chipeta gas plant operated by Anadarko and Natural Buttes. So lots of opportunity for the company. Talk a little bit about the regulatory environment. Due to the complexity of the tribe's reservation, estate, it requires interaction with several governmental entities. We're finding that the key to obtaining permits is building relationships with the various agencies and having insight into their internal processes. I think what's important to know about the Ute Indian tribes is that they're a government without a tax base, and they're largely dependent on the development of their natural resources. The tribe is also environmentally conscientious, and they are the original stewards of this land. The tribe has set aside large tracts of land for non-development and as pristine wilderness. I think that's real important for people to understand, that the tribes, do care about their environment, but they also want to develop their resources. And, there are numerous regulatory obstacles that the tribes are facing today. Here are a few of some of the regulatory obstacles. Because tribal lands are held in trust, tribes are subject to NEPA, and that creates a whole, set of issues for tribes trying to develop their resources.
4 minutes, I apologize.
Okay, yeah, almost done. So here are just a few of some of those issues. Challenges to Indian energy development. If Indian tribes, this was testimony from our chairman, Cuch, before the Indian and Alaskan Native Affairs Committee on Natural Resources, U.S. House of Representatives this past April. If Indian tribes are going to make any progress economically, we need to be allowed to develop our own resources on our own lands. The fact is that a combination of outdated laws and unhelpful federal bureaucracy and environmental extremism has served to keep Indian tribes from moving ahead with all manner of energy projects. I'll conclude by stating that tribes are domestic sovereign nations with inherent government-to-government status and rights protected in our U.S. Constitution. They have tremendous resources that contribute largely to our economy. Existing federal policy ensures involvement of tribal governments through consultation, negotiated rulemaking, and considerations such as providing maximum administrative discretion possible whenever federal actions may impact the Indian tribes and their economy. That said, we all play a part in improving our local economy, which translates to impacting and growing our national economy, and tribes like the Ute Indian tribe will play a significant role as we grow as a nation as we strive towards energy independence. Thank you.